No.
This is an Audi.
This is why I'm confused.
Audi configuration.
Probably, we'll see.
So, welcome. I'm coming down here because I feel like I'm making weird pronouncements from way up high. I'm uncomfortable with that. My name is Wendy Babel. I'm the producer for Arts Discovery programs here. So I run all of our theater school programs, summer stage, several other things. The list is long. But I'm really excited that you could be here with us today. This semester, all of our classes are bridging to Stargirl in some way. And I've asked each teaching artist to just extrapolate some themes or some moments or some relationships and use that as the seed material for improvisation, but also for learning critical acting skills. I'm really grateful to have Avi. He was Leo in our production of Stargirl, and also has a really strong background in viewpoints and some other kinds of physical theater work that are really important, particularly for young people, because whenever I go and see young people, they are usually pretty good with their voices, but their bodies are kind of disconnected from telling the story. So I'm really grateful that Avi's been able to work with them this way this semester. So I'm going to turn this over to Avi and his fabulous group of 6th through 8th graders, and please enjoy the performance.
Hi. Just before we start, this is a piece that we came up with together over the course of really like just this class and last class, basically. So it's a work in progress, and if we had more time, we would keep working on it. It's sort of I think we're all starting just today. This morning, we started to see the shape and understand what it is, and so if we were to continue to work on this, it would probably become something bigger and more in depth. But for now, you get to see what a piece is like when it's sort of in creation. This might be something that we would show if we were in a professional company. We might show this to everybody else in the company. We might show this to other people in the company, and then they would give us feedback or what stuck with them. And then we would go back to the drawing board, and we might change everything, or we might keep stuff. So this is sort of an example of that process. It's based on reactions they had to the themes from Stargirl, and pretty much everything they do is something that they're going to be doing is stuff that they found in class themselves, and all I did was help them string it together. What if this happens before this, and then this happened? So that's what you're going to see. Yeah, have fun. We'll sit in these benches. Keep that in the back of your hats, and maybe if we ever work together again, we'll continue to develop it. Good job. That's it.
You all have to stay out here, and I'm just going to bounce some questions around.
Wait, can we do a hand bow thing?
You can bow however you want.
Wait, holds the hand and
Can I just
bow?
ask who's in the room that did have an opportunity to see Stargirl or who's read the book or knows the story a little bit? So I'm curious from the audience, what were some moments that really stood out to you as resonating with that story? This is really interesting because so much of it was told through movement, and yet there was a really clear storyline and moments that were happening with different people. So what are some things that just really stuck out to you?
Social exclusion.
The what?
Social exclusion.
Social exclusion.
I didn't see Stargirl, so up and down the stairs, what was the motivation for up and down the stairs?
With the actors?
Uh-huh,
So that's a moment that stuck out to you.
uh-huh.
Well, that's good. We there's
Because that was
a
my granddaughter.
there's a I mean, did anybody have any ideas about that? Anybody who wasn't in the class when we talked about it? Did that make anybody feel anything, or did that make, like, what did that make you feel?
Waiting for something to happen, but I just,
I think that's valid.
okay.
Anything else? Anybody have any other thoughts about that moment?
She was sort of doing her own thing, and everyone else was just sort of watching her and going, okay, well, what is she doing and why is she doing this?
Yeah, I think, that's valid too. What did you have? That's that?
I noticed that all of our teaching artists that were in the summer lab, so Avi and I were in that, several others. We worked with the National Theatre of Scotland over the summer, and one of the exercises that they took us through was to go all over our campus here at People's Light and see space. I know that sounds really like artsy-fartsy, but the spaces that we walk by every day and we don't notice the details, but they just asked us to spend some time in those spaces. So we've been kind of infusing that idea of that we can perform in places other than the stage, and there's something about the space that helps tell the story. So we've been discovering that in our own artistic practice, and then also exploring that with young people. We're definitely going to be doing more of that in Youth Summer Stage, and may actually have a moving performance instead of everything happening on the stage and the audience sits there the whole time. But it was really cool.
There was a cool exercise that they did where I asked them to look at this space like a set, and then everything in the space is a set piece that inspires movement. And one at a time, each actor ran to a particular set piece that inspired and did a repetitive movement inspired by that piece. So that's where Daniel found that the trash cans made a cool sound and that they had a nice rhythm to them. And that's where Riley discovered that running up and down the steps was actually a really evocative image, and we didn't really know why, but it was, we didn't know exactly what it meant, but we thought that it meant a lot of different things, and that's why we liked it. And so that was something that I feel like we worked on.
Yeah.
One of the people who was in the cast and playing with us, but she couldn't be here today, was Lauren, and she kind of showed me how to interact and be more inspired by things and to look at the bright side and try to find different ways to communicate with things. So
That's great.
something, even though she's not here, she can help me.
Yeah,
She was here.
Lauren sort of assisted like the direction of this. She last class.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Question. Getting back to that Scotland production, if you have a more moving production, because sometimes if you sit in your seat, it comes passive. But if you have a moving production, could the audience be brought more into it and it becomes more of an active production?
Yeah, there was this moment when all of you were coming up the stairs that suddenly, for me being over here, that you all became part of the performance in that moment, and it was really transformative, and I haven't seen that. I mean, I've only been here a few years, but I haven't seen us do that in theater school before, so I was like, oh, that's great, that's cool. So that was a new thing, but it is a different relationship, and it's something that as you're working in the space, you really have to think about. So where are we going to place the audience? So that's why I was checking in with Avi in the beginning about where, in order to get the fullest experience of this story, where should the audience be so that this unfolded the way that they hoped that it would.
Originally, the audience was going to start down there, and come in through here, and slowly walk downstairs through, and then come up here. But we just didn't have time because we discovered all this cool stuff downstairs too.
Yeah.
That we wanted to show you. But you know, it's only 2 hours for just a couple weeks. So
I'm so impressed with all of you. That's a hard focus step. That is hard focus step to do. The grown-up actors struggle with that, believe it or not.
Definitely.
A couple of us had a tough time with some of those exercises. So I'm so proud of you. Really great work. Thank you for your wonderful creativity for the last 8 weeks. Thank you for being here with us to share this moment. We have some refreshments over here that you are welcome, and just make sure if you would sign out with Abby before you take your wonderful artist home with you today. That'd be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Really brave work, guys. It's
Yeah.
hard doing something that's we can release the barrier.